Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Amna Akhtar, your science teacher. I hope you all will be fine with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, today we're gonna start our new chapter, and the name of the chapter is Earth's Movements. It's another very interesting chapter we're gonna start. Inshallah, you're gonna have lots of fun and reading this chapter, and you're gonna come to know about a lot of new things and new facts, inshallah. Okay, so to start with today, first of all, let me tell you, we're gonna cover 3 topics today, which are almost alike, and whatever you're gonna get in these 3 topics, I've just put them in a few points, and we're gonna go through each point one by one. So first of all, the size and position of Sun, Earth, and Moon. As you all know that the Earth, Moon, and the Sun, they all are placed in the sky in a way that the Sun is the biggest of all these 3. And then comes the Earth. I'm going to write E for the Earth. And then comes the Moon, which is the smallest. Now, the one thing is the Sun is the biggest of all 3 of them. Then comes the Earth and then the Moon. This is about the size of 3 of them. Now, the Sun is a star. Star is something, it's a body in the space which gives us light, which gives out light. It has its own light and it gives its own light. So Sun is a star. Here comes the Earth. The Earth is a planet. Planet is a body just like many other planets we have, which are revolving around the Sun. So Earth is one of the planets. And then there is Moon. Now, this was about the size. Now come to the position of the Sun, Earth, and Moon. Sun. Sun is stationary. It means it doesn't move. Sun is a body which remains at its place and it does not move. While the Earth moves around the Sun. Now, the Earth, a movement of the Earth is a little tricky. It has 2 kinds of movement. The Earth has 2 kinds of movements. One of the movement is called rotation, and the other movement is called revolution. What is rotation? Rotation is the Earth, as I told you, it has 2 kinds of movements. One is a little smaller kind of movement of the Earth around its own axis. I mean, the Earth is revolving around itself. This is called rotation. And the rotation of the Earth makes days. Like it takes 24 hours or 1 day for the Earth to complete 1 rotation. Now you got what rotation is? Now the next movement of the Earth is called a revolution. And what is revolution? Revolution is the movement of the Earth around the Sun. And as you can see, it's a little or way bigger than the movement of the rotation, and it takes 365, almost 365 days for the Earth to complete 1 revolution. So it takes one year or 365 days for the Earth to complete 1 revolution around the Sun. This is the movement of the Earth. So it has 2 kinds of movements, rotation and revolution. Rotation is the movement of the Earth around its own axis, and revolution is the movement of the Earth around the Sun. Now comes the Moon. Moon is revolving around the Earth. It has a little a simple kind of movement, and it's all the time rotating around the earth the same way as the earth is rotating around the sun. Okay, does the sun move? This is another very important point, and as we just concluded that the sun does not move. So it's a very important point. You need to remember that the sun does not move, and it is the earth which moves. A lot of times we see or we say that the sun is rising and sun is setting, but it's not the sun actually which is moving, it's actually the earth which moves. But it seems as the sun is moving, but it's the earth which moves, and which causes the days and nights and seasons and years. It's not the sun. Now comes what is a globe. A globe is actually, it's a model of the earth. You must have seen, all of you must have seen the globe at your homes. You must be having, and if you don't have, please have a globe, please buy a globe. It's a very simple kind of thing which is easily available in the stationery stores. And it's a very informative thing. Globe is, it's a model of the earth, and it's shaped like a ball, and it has a stick passing through it from the North Pole to the South Pole. And when you see the globe, you can see its South Pole and the North Pole and the South Pole very easily. And by seeing it, you can easily define the rotation and the revolution of the earth. Now, the movement of the earth is, as I've already told you, it has two kinds of movements, the rotation and the revolution. Rotation is a relatively way smaller movement, and it takes only 1 day or 24 hours for the earth to complete one rotation. But the revolution is a very big kind of movement, and it takes almost 365 days or 1 year for the earth to revolve once around the sun. Okay, this is all about the concepts which are given in these topics. Next, what I want you is to go through this video on YouTube. It's a very informative video. It's going to tell you, because like sitting here, I cannot, I wish we could be in the class and doing this activity of the earth revolving and rotating. You could get the idea in a better way. But now, as we have started e-learning, so this video is going to help you a lot. You're going to know how the sun is placed in the sky, how the earth is rotating, and how the earth is doing the revolution. How is these two kinds of movements are taking place in the sky, and how the days and nights are formed, why we have a day on some part of the earth and the night on some part of the earth. It's going to tell you a lot about it. And you're going to go through this video and you're going to give me your feedback, like what did you get and what's the problem you still have. And in next lecture, inshallah, we'll start with the problems or whatever feedback I'll get from you guys. And we'll start with that, inshallah. Now comes your task for this week. You're going to do 4 tasks, inshallah, for this week. First task is you're going to do the exercise of the chapter we just read, Investigating Plants Growth. This exercise is there on page number 32 and 33 of your learner's book. You're going to do this work on your learner book. No need to use the notebook for it. And it's very easy. You just read it, you have all the concepts, but still if you have any problem, you can anytime get back to me, no problem, through the email. Next is your the question answers of 6.1, which I've made a slide of, and I'll explain it to you. And then task 3 is the questions given on learner's book, page 85. These are very simple kind of questions you're gonna go through, and you're gonna do it again on the learner's book. The last task for this week is the questions given on learner's book, page 87. It's only question number 1 and question number 2 you're gonna do, not question number 3. And this is again to be done on the learner's book. Now the question answers of 6.1 here, I've made the slide of it. You're gonna do these on your science notebooks, inshallah. Question number 1, 2, and 3 on the lining page. And here comes question number 4, which has this diagram, and you're gonna put these labelings on this diagram, and you're gonna do this question on your the blank page, the blank side of the learner's book or of your science notebook. That's it for this week. I wish you very best of luck. Inshallah khair. Just do this task, and if you have any problem, any question, just give me an email, and I'm gonna get back to you as I get the email, inshallah. Okay, Jazakallah khair, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.